What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let me know if I'm live because there are some problems with YouTube, so I'm not sure if you're actually live or you can hear me. Uh, so let me know in the comments if I'm live and if you can hear me. Um, Sorry I'm late. Had some technical issues because of YouTube, but I'm here. I'm gonna talk about what happened today with Scannavino giving an interview for the first time in ever. After all, FIG, like all the storm went down basically because of them. They come out and they speak. Not during the season when Allegri and the team was carrying all the misery coming from the media and whatever. Now they want to speak, but I'll talk about that. Maybe a little bit of the transfer market or like one deal in particular, excuse me, and maybe if DiMarco speak, we will go over that as well, and then I will wrap it up because I know it's late. I know it's late. Um, but let's get. You can hear me. Okay, that's good. But let's get into into what today happened. Yes, another Italian team lost, and I love it. I will always take it. I will never support an Italian team other than us um, in um, in uh, in Europe. Never. Not for any goal in the world. I will not do it. So good. Hope on Saturday the third one follows as well. Um, but what today happened? So around 1:30 p.m. I was at work, so I got a notification from Sky Italia, from the app basically, that there was a breaking private whatever one-on-one interview with Scannavino, where we spoke about everything, and he cleared up a lot of things. Um, in my opinion, some weird things. We will go into it. The first thing he said, obviously, was about Allegri. It was expected. We were waiting for not an official statement. I wasn't expecting this, but like a good quote unquote official leak that Allegri is staying or he's leaving. I still cannot believe that he's staying. I just can't. So I'm still having a little bit of hope that he will not be here because I have no idea what they're basing this on. I will read it out first. He said Allegri has never been in question. With him, there's a total agreement on what are the future scenarios of the club. The relationship has been consolidated in uh, recent months, basically. Um, that's that's crazy to say because of so many reasons. First, he has been in question. He has, because we have all the reports out there, from good sources that Calvo contacted Tudor, that he has issues with Calvo and all those things. And even today, news comes out, Calvo will, quote unquote, taken a step down. Mana takes over, but he will be pushed back to marketing in the near future. Now he will help Mana because there was nobody else. They completely missed the boat on June Tilly. That's absolutely ridiculous from the club. Like it looks very we look like amateurs because it was Giuntoli, and De Laurentiis basically said no, and that's it. So that's already a fail from the club because it was out there. That's one. Then you have, and he admitted in this interview that there are issues with Allegri, that they didn't agree on certain things, that there were heated discussions, but they found an agreement and it's best to move on together. I don't see how that can work. Like I thought issues with the players, the actual players he has in his squad. He has issues with them. It's well known. Now on top of that, there are issues with the board, with the management, and they're planning a future together. That makes absolutely zero sense because you are even the argument of sacking him is too expensive. Why? If he's in charge, you're still paying him. Sack or pay, you're gonna pay him no matter what. You're going to pay him the same amount of money no matter what. The only difference is you're going to lose out on more money because of the way we play. You're going to lose out on players because they want to leave, and you're bringing in players or you're linked with players we shouldn't be linked with. I tweeted out, I think this club is being held to hostage with Alcon at the top, doesn't really 100% care about it, just needs to clean it up. And with people who have absolutely done nothing, like Scannavino, Ferrero, the president, whatever, they have no business being in this situation. They're lawyers, they did some, I don't know, office jobs, whatever. They have no real experience in this world of football. They are just freestyling it, and it's already bad. It looks bad. The way he speaks, excuse me, it looks already bad. Even the way he's speaking, it looks awful. Because he said mid interview, "Oh, but we reach a semi-final of a European Cup." You know, he didn't say from the Europa League, from the European Cup. He said we reached a Coppa Italia final. We finished third in the league. Whatever. They are very short-minded. They are. He said we finished the season well. Only the mental issues with the team because of the points deduction were an issue. That's an absolute lie. You need to look at the 2 years, and in 2 years' time, the job that has been done is shambolic. There's no improvement. Players are getting worse. Players are getting angry, annoyed. They want to leave. What is there to build on? Like, I have no idea. I wanted to be a fly on that wall in that meeting to hear what the future plan is, because somebody let me know what the future plan is and be positive. Don't come with a negative future plan. Tell me the positive future plan. This club, there's no vision, there's no project, whatever. There's absolutely nothing. They're freestyling it once again. You know, they did it with Sarri, did it with Pirlo, they're doing it again now. Even though all the signs are there to make a change, that a change needs to happen now, they're not doing it. They're just freestyling it, and let's see what will happen. And we probably know what's going to happen. He's going to get a worse squad, and apparently, he's going to do a better job. So, the only way he's going to do a better job, if you're going to look at league positions and all the teams around us remain crap. Lazio remain crap, Roma, Atalanta, Milan, even Inter in the league, they remain poor, then yes, you might do a better job next season. But if they improve a little bit, you're screwed. You're absolutely screwed. Because we've watched this 2 years, and not once did I see someone say, this is enjoyable to watch, this is sustainable, this is building a future. It's not happening. So I have no idea what he's saying. It's actually crazy that a person who has the same knowledge or experience in the world of football as us is, quote unquote, at the head of the club, giving these interviews, telling the fans there's a future plan. He just stepped in this world a couple of months ago, and now apparently he knows what the plan is. It's absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this is happening to this club that won 9 titles in a row, and we're in this situation now. We are in a worse situation than when we started the cycle, because when we started the cycle, we came from Serie B. It was very difficult to rebuild. It took time for so many different reasons. But now we're coming from 9 winning seasons in a row to this. It's worse than back then, because back then you actually had an excuse. There is no excuse. You were at the top. There's no excuse to fall off like this in this short amount of time. Like, there's no excuse. But we are here, and the club is overseeing it. With the club, I mean Alcon, because if he actually cared, he stepped in with a different mindset, basically. That's what I think. But let's move on to the second part. He said we must not forget the situation we have experienced, but all in all, we can consider that we have worked well, not just on the field where the performances could also have been better, but which nevertheless led to third place in Serie A, 2 semifinals. We understand the disconnect of the fans. We have to keep our feet on the ground. We want to start again with great humility. You don't understand the disconnect of the fans. You absolutely don't. That's a complete lie. That's being ignorant. Because if you did, you're not making these decisions. Like, that's a flat out lie. That's a flat out lie. The stadium is dead. The team is kind of dead. People are not tuning in enough anymore in the stadium. On TV, it's out there. I have so many people saying we're not watching anymore. you're not connected with the fans. Like, absolutely no. And don't bring up two semifinals. They're very short-minded. And that's very worrying. There is no project. Even with the players who are being linked, and you can say, oh, it's transfer rumors. Would you be surprised if we bring in a Vasquez or these type of players? I think nobody would be surprised, right? You know? There is no plan. There is no future. Um, and there's no direction for this club at this moment in time. So absolutely no idea what he's talking about. It's actually kind of disrespectful to say we understand the disconnect with the fans, but you actually don't. If you be completely honest, because if you did, you're not making these decisions again. Like very weird, poor, bad decisions. But again, it is what it is, I guess. We need to accept it and move on. Basically, that's what we have been told today. Accept it. Um, I have no idea how to move on because going into next season, I know what to expect, and what I'm gonna expect is not good. So how do how, like as a fan, how do you need to go into the next season? Like there's no excitement, preseason training, whatever. First photos, you're like, oh, hype, new season. There's no hype. Absolutely no hype whatsoever. We play piss poor football. Like, let's be completely honest here. It's bad to watch. It's frustrating to watch. We play the worst brand of football against the worst side. We struggle against the worst side. And then you come out, or players and coaches come out and they talk about you need to suffer. I'm like, buddy, you're playing Cremonese at home. We don't need to suffer against Cremonese or Monza. Like, who's telling you that? Like, who's actually telling you that you need to suffer against these teams to win? What kind of bullshit is that? More and more fans, finally, are stepping away from that. Because at the beginning, a lot of people were like, yeah, I need to grind it out. These are the wins you need to grind out. Okay, once a season, twice a season, if you're in title race, maybe 3 times, I get it. But every single week, you need to grind results out against relegation sides. We struggle against Lecce. Cremonese, one of the worst sides I've seen in the league in a very long time. We struggled. That's unacceptable. But again, you have coaches who are making half of him doing a better job, but we have been told that there's a great project. Okay. It's us, I guess. It's us. Let me read out some comments because I skipped all of them. Let me see what I can do. Well, at first, English ref... Nope. I'm not talking about that. Excuse me. Just very sad what's happening. Yeah, it's sad. Maybe next season, I only follow this channel to hear news, not watch games. Thanks for the support. But I'm predicting a lot of depressing videos. Is there any way Allegri is still getting sacked? I still have a percentage of hope because it makes no sense. Like it feels like a weird dream. Scannavino is a clown. He really doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't. Like, he's in there and it's annoying when he speaks. It's actually annoying what he's talking about. They cannot make good business and they destroyed the team and amazing management, and plus they understand the fans. What else can we look for? Nothing. We should sell every last drop of talent left. Sell. They will ask to leave very soon. Here's the irony of it all. Allegri has admitted himself that the only way a club can win is with top quality players, and a manager doesn't matter. So how can the club keep Max when they can't? It's like I said at the start of the video. Like, apparently there's a great future ahead of us, or like better things coming our way with less quality in the squad. That's insane. Like, that's absolutely insane. Like, I don't like. Let me know in the comments does anyone, or do you know personally anyone who actually believes we will do a better job, or Allegri will do a better job next season with less quality in the squad? Because that's going to be the case. Let me know if you believe that, or if you know anyone who believes that, and let me know why. 4 good players, I agree with that as well. Let me see. Keeping Allegri at the club will end up costing the club more money in the long run. It will, because there's nothing to to look forward to. If we are being completely honest here, um, let me see. Um, no news from Di Marzio still. But yeah, that's basically the news of the day. You know, that's what dominated the news. That um, Allegri is saying they have a quote unquote plan. They're planning with him. He also said like now we know that Allegri is saying, so that tells you it wasn't certain, and that's a big worry. That's a big worry when he said that because you're moving on with a coach you're not certain about. So you moving on with a coach you already have doubts about. You discuss those doubts within the club with him maybe, but you still made the decision to go forward with. I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it. I'm actually very confused about it. Like the more I think about it, the more it sounds ridiculous. Romeo hasn't said anything about all of this. Um, After like 2 3 years ago, his inside info got a bit less. He's still good. He only speaks when he's basically dead on, but he will not give you the daily updates like maybe he used to do when he was at the peak. But same for Di Marzio, he was at his peak and fell off. So it is what it is. A lot of changes at the club. Um, and who's Mazzocchi from Sanitana? I don't want to talk about that because I will cry on stream probably. I cannot believe we're gonna get linked with players um, oh my god, you know, Mazzocchi from Salernitana. Like I don't what like what. First of all, when I saw the link from Mazzocchi and I saw 4 million and Nicolucci, I thought we were signing him for the under 23s. I thought that that was the deal we were doing for the under 23s. It's actually for the first team. And from what I've seen from him at Salernitana, it's meh. Like it makes no sense. Like that's not gonna move the needle. I was told because the Decilio is injured. Like him, the Decilio, Quadrado, like it's a bunch of mediocrity. We shouldn't attract to the club. We have enough of that already. Like that's nothing to look forward to. Absolutely nothing. So don't waste any money on these deals. If you want to move Nicolucci, fine, move him, but let him keep the player and invest that in young quality potential. Not this. Like what is this? So again, it's a link, but the first initial links, I predicted a very bad transfer window in terms of the players we will get linked with. But it's day 3, and it's even worse than I could imagine. Like I couldn't imagine getting linked with Mazzocchi and Vasquez on day 3 of the transfer market. Like not even in my most depressing dream, I would have imagined to be linked with Mazzocchi and Lucas Vasquez. That's really bad. Like that's links cannot get any worse than that. Basically, they can. Sorry, I was trying to read some news. Let me see. The only thing that can get Allegri sacked is the fans demonstrating not to watch matches at the stadium. Man, they're kind of doing it already. And then even then, the club's not gonna break. That's not how this club operate. I saw things on Twitter, unfollow them on social media. If you want to do that, good, up to you. But the club is not gonna sack a coach because you unfollow them on Twitter and Instagram. Like it's just not gonna happen. Like that's things that will not hit them. Like completely silent. Let's be honest. Here in Austria, we have like 10 to 15k in the stadium every week, but you can hear literally every single one of them. First time I was there, yeah, it's an issue with the club. That's why I'm like they don't care. Why isn't the club trying to move for Tielemans or Ruben Neves from smaller prem clubs? Both will be available either on a free transfer discount and upgrade. Tielemans is actually very close to Roma. The funny part is, me and Julian are gonna record a podcast tomorrow that will drop on Friday, like we did last season, where we go over dream signings, steals, and realistic signings. And spoiler alert, Julian put Tielemans in a dream signing. He's going to Roma. It's not that big of a dream. Like he's close to joining Roma. I will roast Julian on the podcast for that tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. That will drop tomorrow. Friday, 4 p.m. European time, something like that. So stay tuned for that because that's gonna be a good one, like last season. But we're not in for Tielemans. Actually, Roma are doing great business. Actually, I disrespected Roma yesterday when I saw Vasquez. Vasquez. So these are the players that will be linked with Roma. You would expect to be linked with Roma. They're not even being linked with these players. They're being linked with Ndika, Anwar, Awar, and Tielemans. Not that I'm saying get Awar, but not even Roma are looking at players like Vasquez, like they did in the past with Pedro and all these type of players. They're not even doing that anymore. But we are for some reason. Insane. Doing Ledges, all right, save the club or manager's clueless. Yeah. Like mechanic, yeah. What else did I want to talk about? Is there any good news to talk about? I've actually no idea. Oh, the good news is Alexandro, the club is trying to move on from him. The flip side is apparently there was no clause that you needed to pay him a fine if the automatic renewal didn't activate. And Calvo told Allegri that he's not in our plans, don't play him. Allegri did so. The moment the extension hit, Allegri actually benched him. And that was a big bust up between him and Calvo. And that's why Calvo contacted Tudor and, all these things happened. Because we know, and Scannavino admitted that things were moving and there were heated discussions, but they made the decision to keep Allegri. So, and Calvo takes a step back. That means that you're moving forward with a disconnect within the club already. They can say there's a plan. There's no plan. If you already had an issue to begin with to keep Allegri, you cannot be at that point and then 2 hours after the meeting, you're like, now we have a future plan. Like, that's not how it works. Like, it doesn't work. You had doubts for a good reason. You cannot turn around and be like, forget about it. We are expecting a good future ahead of us. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense. But yeah, Alexandro, we're looking to terminate his contract. Just pray if you believe that happened because he should be gone. Wages of the books, whatever. Also, Galatasaray are looking at Arthur that will probably be alone with us paying with us paying part of the wage. And they're also looking at McKennie. That's some bad news because they're not going to give us the money we need from McKennie. So that's an issue. I hope other teams come in for McKennie because, again, he as well, not good enough. Out. He needs to leave. He never come back. They're also looking at Zakaria, but I'm not sure he wants to join Galatasaray. I think he will have some better offers. So let's see how that will develop as well. Let's see how that will go. But yeah, I think that's the positive news of the day, the Alexandro news. I'm guessing because it was all weird and negativity today. Unless you're happy with Allegri, then it was a very good day for you, I guess. But again, his post-games interview, everything leading up to this moment, it feels like he's not 100% invested. He's not 100% motivated. So is the club because they said so. They said so, and we know from good sources that it's not all happy days. So, like you're starting the new season on the wrong foot because there are doubts, and the moment it goes wrong, what are you gonna do then? Like I tweeted out a couple of weeks ago or a couple of days ago. In July, Allegri will be there in the first training sessions, and he needs to look those players in the eyes and tell them, "You're good enough, or we're gonna compete again, or whatever. We're gonna have a good season." When a few months ago you told the media, the world, that squad is not good enough to win, and 2-3 days before that, you have Chesney saying this team is good enough to win. It's not acceptable that we're not winning trophies. So I don't even know how that dynamic is gonna work. July, first training session. I have absolutely no idea how that's gonna work. Like absolutely no idea. It's absolutely wow just thinking about it. But that's the situation we are in now. So it is what it is. As I said many times, no idea what else to make of it. Let me read out a few more comments before I leave. Um, I would even go on ex-Milan players, Lucas Paqueta, look class and build up for, yeah. Um, who's the Soul Goal project? We signed Allegri 4 years. What is the Soul Goal project? No idea. Not even Allegri knows. Not even Allegri knows. So in general, the management has done a lot of mistakes and they cannot fix those mistakes. Now we're suffering on and off the pitch. 100%. He's lying. It's all bullshit. Allegri has to go. Oh, obviously. But I'm gonna wrap this one up because I started late. Apologize because issues with YouTube. It didn't allow us to go live, so that's why I wasn't sure I was live at the beginning. But I made it. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm trying to do like last summer, a live at least 4 days a week, at least during the weekdays. Weekends, I'm taking some time off, but there will be daily videos and whatever. And every weekday, there will be a transfer extra. And probably the transfer meter that will come back pretty soon as well. So stay tuned for that. Friday podcast, me and Julian going all over potential signings like we did last season. And then, yeah, probably tactical videos looking at the players we linked with, and all those things. It still needs to actually really start, especially with the outgoings. Then we will see about incomings. But yeah, that's it. Allegri saying, let's look forward to, I don't know, to the Conference League playoff round. Yeah, that's what we are playing in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that, I guess. Thanks for watching. Please like the video. Go watch my daily video and go watch tomorrow morning the transfer extra where I will discuss the latest links. Thanks for watching and